to let you know how enthralled and humble I am to be able to speak to you.
Oh
I
man, give
absolutely
thanks.
love you.
Oh, give thanks.
Absolutely love you. I have my son watching, my 5 year old watching the interview and telling him this is an artist. He
Oh
stands for
man.
so much, and his movement is memorable.
Oh, I appreciate that. See, ratings. Thank
Ratings,
you.
that's true. You see it.
I just want to ask you.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm sorry. You have a question for me?
No, no,
correct?
no. Well, you are going. Go on. You go through first. Ladies first, Granny say.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Granny's so wise. Listen, so I want to ask you because I've always been very intrigued by music since I was a young girl. I'm much older now.
Uh-huh.
There was a recent artist. As we know, the newer dancehall music is very provocative and vulgar and boisterous.
No, it's always been that way. If you think about it, at every generation, like Yellow Man did slap to the people at the time and before, you know what I mean? So it's a continuous feature of the music. It naturally goes with it. But anyhow,
I
continue.
want to say give thanks for having you for the second time in JAI Radio Studios, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, enough respect.
This time it's you by yourself, so, you know what I mean? It's more, it's about Hope River. So we want to get into, I mean, the last time you was here, we talk about how you get started, so we don't really need to go back into that. We just want to talk about the album right now.
Yeah, well, we had a release August 31st, and the response up to now has been excellent. We debuted #1 in the iTunes reggae charts, and we're at 2 or 3 on the Billboard reggae chart. And so far, yeah, we just have to give thanks. The support has been excellent, and we're continuing to grow. Just shooting a video now for the next single coming out soon.
Okay, which one will that be?
Banks of the Hope, man.
Banks of the Hope, man.
Yeah,
I tell you.
Can't turn it down, look at the feedback, I go beat you up. It did good a while ago, Can't take our back some after this. So. Yeah.
Alright, that's all. Yeah, man.
You give me a King Jammies a while ago, that no move.
Him just move, man. Him not really. Him not do nothing. He just touch it like him do not do nothing at all.
Surgical. Alright.
Yeah, so blessed, man. I want to say, listen, the album, the reviews on it, like you said, was Billboard critically acclaimed album. Something where you know what I mean. It was there was an article that I read, which said the features on the two of the top album them Kanye West and Kendrick Lamar said it had an influence on the direction of this album. Like them said them can't hear. Is there any truth to that?
I guess not directly. In terms of putting this project together, there was at no time when I considered any of those projects. In terms of the texture of it or content or anything like that. So I can tell you on the surface, no, but then again, my music is influenced by all of my experiences up to now, just the same. And of course, those are significant experiences and maybe, play a role somehow. But in terms of personally, like, putting the album together, I never, consciously considered any of those things.
Well, okay. I don't know. That's what it said. It said something about the album being bass driven, but I'm like, Jamaican music, reggae music is bass driven.
Well, guess what? I can't complain about people trying to, draw certain parallels between what I'm hearing and work that I've done before. It's another talking point, and I respect that. People can try to dissect it and whatever. It's fine. So, if somebody feel like
okay.
I'm not quarrel with them over that.
The next thing I want to talk about, I want to move on to the journey, that number, the skit by Buju Banton. Oh, influence.
It's not a skit.
Not a skit. Sorry, an interview.
It's an excerpt from an actual interview. Yeah.
Sorry. What role in your early development what kind of role did Buju Banton play?
So I used to leaving Camperdown to go to several studios when I was just trying to make my way in the industry, and one such studio was Gargamel Studios, Freddie's Road or so. And the first time I actually saw my name on a record, first time I see my name on a piece of vinyl, it was a Gargamel production, a song called Revamp. So Buju pretty much put out my first record. It wasn't the first song I recorded, but like I said, it's the first time my name was pressed on a vinyl scene. And then, outside of that, in a more direct way, we ended up in the same management with Penthouse Records and Donovan Germain. And, I got some, active mentorship, from Buju, from, even holding the microphone. Juvenile, hold on, you know what I mean? That's what I mean? And so you hold the mic, but you think the stick up on the mic for them kind of thing. And, I toured with him, at a certain point. And, so much that, that I deliberately tried to pick up from Buju in terms of, so him conduct himself and, represent the music and, even stage-wise and things. There's a lot to learn from him being on the road with him. But, in a more direct sense, in the earlier stages, like I said, my first record was put out by Gargamel Music. So for him, so to hear those words coming from Buju from '04, in a kind of prophetic sense to say, yo, him see great things happening for me in the future, and then here I am putting an album together. I just felt like it, and it was a good fit,
But what you think in those early stages, because that was earlier on in your career?
04.
04.
So, yeah.
The time when you came out, there was a slower artist that came out in that segment. What you think about you? What you think about you? What is it about you? You think Buju saw? What was it? You think?
Well, I started my career very early, so I was a teenager at the time. Like I said, I was still in high school. And Buju used to say to me, I remind him a lot of the teenage Mark Myrie. In terms of just where I was musically, like I was able to navigate on the beats and things like that, and content wise, like lyrically, same what I said to me. But him say I need for like use less words, but him know that I have a lot to say being a young man still in high school. So I remember even the same song that he put out, and the first time I met him say, boy, Juvenile it bad, but a 5 song that, because there was so much lyrics
Too
in
much,
there.
yeah.
So, I think, could I say, based on where I was musically at that age, then clearly, you could reasonably say that if I continue to develop, then, great things would happen. So I guess that's where it was coming from.
I posted a thing when I posted that you were coming. I posted a question, like a question that anybody wanted to ask. So it's funny you said that, because one of the questions that somebody asked me to ask you is, in this new set of musicians coming up, do you see anybody, that you be like, you know what, this person remind me of myself coming up? That's one of the questions where somebody wanted to know. So Vodka, big up yourself.
I mean, well, not necessarily, but what I will say is that I see some young talents that, especially age-wise, like I know there's Coffee who's a teenager, if I understand it. So yeah, if you're using the same metrics, if she's as advanced as she is at that age, then you can only reasonably assume that very great things are gonna happen for her. And then you have I have some. Listen, I fully embrace young talents coming into the music. I'm not one of them people that will feel like the youth them need for the this or need for the that.
No, I understand that. You explained that the last time, so you embrace everybody. But I was just saying more like anybody where like how you just said.
I like I said, I identify Coffee as
one of those people.
A special talent. And then, well, on a personal level, my little girl seemed to be looking, down the music road and thing, and I can see a lot of myself in her, literally, that's LC. But, like I said, Coffee, I can't really think about anybody else right now. I respect for that Deep Job, but then he's already established, I would say. I can't think. But if I remember anybody else during the course of the thing.
And let me say from the last time, people, thanks for your vote. LC did make the album, even though it was just, I put it out there, so I hope she make the album. So I just want to say, she did make the album.
Yeah,
you understand?
Weezy too.
Weezy, yes.
AC never met that one, but I don't know. She accommodate music kind of just out of the vibe, but AC is not really she don't really fully involved musically like that, but she do her thing. But yeah, Joshua and Lauren, them,
Yeah. That same song that I just played, the You and Romain Virgo. I remember that video clip that went viral with her doing that. I mean, and she really the rhythm no leave her none at all.
She legit, like she legit, she in the pocket. Yeah, like she rhythm wise and thing, and even melodies. Like I have this clip where I posted a couple of days ago where she working on a new song.
I saw, yeah, man, see it.
But in the extended clip, there's a part where she goes, "Daddy, I think like one of the words, I think that's off key," and then she pitched where the note should be, and she was right. So the melody wasn't off key, but it's just like was a different
note.
Yeah, in the melody. So yeah, she I know at 7 years old, she's far advanced than I was. You know what I mean? I never, the first time I put on headphones, I was 17 in a studio.
Oh.
You know what I mean? She's doing it
from early.
And it's a different thing to DJ, like open ear, like for DJ and the rhythm I play over there's a versus DJing with the canon.
Okay.
So she's already going through that part of development. So like I say, if you do the maths, by 17 she's supposed to, much advanced. So make we see how that go.
Hope River, what kind of impact or statement you think that album have on this now culture, like the dancehall reggae music on a whole? What kind of impact you wanted that album to have? Or
my brethren, one of the key parts of my creative process right now is to divorce outcomes like that. I just do the work and then make the chips fall. So like I say, however people want to take it and dissect it and, where them want to place it in the scheme of things, that's up to them, it's not up to me. But I can tell you what the album means to me, and it's just, me sharing where I'm at, I guess, at this stage musically, obviously, and spiritually and, personally, and sharing a couple of the things that I used to live by. The principles that I live by, some of my core values, things like gratitude and a tune like grateful.
Yes.
So that's what the album is to me. When I put the album out now and however people, relate to it and wherever they want to, place it in the scheme of things, that's all up to them.
I mean, the album itself, I think it takes you on a journey, which I think the first song on it, the first song, Energy River. It kind of gives you an idea of what to expect.
Yeah, the album was definitely recorded as a project and not just
putting some songs
together. Yes. And you can clearly hear that. So that that song, Energy River, not only guided the album in terms of establishing just the vibe and even the very word river in it. But at the same time, musically, it also helped steer the direction of the album when I just heard it, because I recorded that song on a totally different rhythm. And with the producer, which is Dale and Tried, these tried them. They stripped the rhythm down and they put this new rhythm to it and played it for me when we were linking up now to get this album together. And I was like, yo, I like musically where this is. It don't feel old. It don't feel too new where it start turning into something else. It just feel like contemporary reggae or something like that. And so, I felt like I wanted the album to also have some of that vibe where it's not check reggae alone, but it's not this, it's not no new hybrid or sound like it more hip hop than anything. So I wanted
definitely
to keep a certain balance with the sound. I think Energy River is a good example of that.
The album definitely flows like track to track. You can hear the development. The features on the album, were they strategic? I see you work with, I would say your friends, Wayne Marshall, Sprague, your mentor, in a sense.
I feel like music, I've always approached collabs in terms of, personally, it's supposed to just flow, it's not supposed to be anything forced and thing, and at the same time, musically it have to make sense too. And the textures and the sounds and all of them things. So, with this album being so personal to me, the first candidates would be people that, I'm close to. It's like right off the bat, somebody like Romain Virgo, I definitely know if I even one note him, did I go sing, but, but you know what I mean? And then Wayne Marshall, I'm a real bridging from that,
early stages, from start,
you know what I mean? And so, and then me and Wayne been working together since we get the studio done and things, so, so that was a natural part of the vibe. And then, of course, Sprague Benz. Anybody who know my story,
Definitely.
So Sprague significant to that, so having him on the project was, was also key. And then Stone Boy, I did some work on one of his projects, and it's somebody I have respect for, and especially coming out of the motherland, and somebody who also representing the culture on that level.
And represent it well too.
Yeah, man.
I gotta say, definitely represent the culture well.
So I have a great respect for him. So that was seamless. And then Kabaka Pyramid likewise. And then Steve Marley. I mean, come on. It's Marley.
It's Marley. Yeah.
So yeah, and then Savannah. One of the young talents again that I have incredible respect for, Protege Link, and whereas again now Chevron, who has been helping me a lot with even just getting more towards the singing style versus straight up DJing, and help me navigating that, and putting some of the melodies together and the background vocal work on the songs. So Chevron was including that. Queen Africa, Tony Rebel, I'm bridging them. Rebel is somebody I have respect for from a long time, and the whole Penthouse heritage and all of that. So, who else again now? Tash Alexander, one of the linky them again, and Ja Vinci, I think is one of the features that people say, wait, Ja Vinci, wait, guys, what going on, But because of the record, All Aboard, yes. I think, it was deliberate in terms of trying to find somebody that people wouldn't necessarily be looking for on the song. And at the same time, as Bridget, I get along with and have great respect for him talent as well. So, that is that. Then Major Hype, no.
Now, if you talk about somebody where people not expect,
the rest,
you talk about Major Hype.
Well, anybody see the mix-up video, would I see the Ras appearing at the mix-up video?
Yeah.
That character is how I got introduced to Major Hype. Like in other words, when Instagram just come out, man, and you start see the Ras and things. So from man, I just did rate the character and thing. So you see him in the video. You see him in the thing there. So let me see if I don't open the phone about it. Oh, Cardinal Official and Tessa and Chin. Yeah. So Tessa and Chin is the voice of Jamaica. Come on now. So that is a given, and of course.
And Wayne Marshall. Exactly. Yeah.
And I did a remix for a song she had on her album the last time. So, we musically we have a vibe too. And then Cardinal Official, I'm a bridging, but, we do several works together. We share a project with Bungie Garland called Suta Black and things like that.
Yeah, what the group name?
Suta Black.
Suta Black, the group. Yeah, the group.
So, you don't know. One on there, Dre Island. Dre Island, of course, is one of the link them again. Rate him talent, and you don't know. Glacier Robinson.
Oh, my
Glacier
goodness,
Robinson. Man. So Glacier now, my mother used to listen to nothing but Love 101 when she was alive. And Glacier Robinson, was a staple on that radio station with a song named, Hold My Hands, the song what she break out with. And then doing a song now as a tribute to my mother and having Glacier Robinson on the song, just, gave it a lot more gravity. So
I gotta get into this song of the album, and then I want to talk about it. The song Legacy.
Yeah.
So this is off the Hope River album. This one is called Legacy. If you don't have the album, make sure you go and get it.
Hey, watch out. Hey, Kuyana. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm on, so open up your eyes. But realize you'll never see a beamer in a grave. You'll never see a rich man run a safe. You'll never ever live to see a real true born. Now you're being the last man in shade. You'll never see a mountain in a cave. You'll never see my lyrics scribbled on the page. Oh no, you'll never see a gunman die of age. And you'll never see a rich man die of age. Stop. You'll never see an eagle soaring in a cage. You'll never master your craft if you're a slave. Oh no, you'll never see your dreams if you're a brave. That's why you never see the critics on the stage. But they don't tell you what you never see. You never see me, let them drain my energy. And they don't tell you what you never see. You never see the evil showing empathy. Let me tell you what you never see. You never see your true love in the cemetery. You never see your true friend turn your enemy. Oh, let me tell you what you never see. You never see me let them drain my energy. And let me tell you what you never see. You never see your own legacy. Oh yeah.
So like I said, man, this one is definitely one of my favorite.
Yeah, man, respect.
And the line, the most important line when me feeling at the song there, are the line where you say you'll never live to see a legacy.
Yeah, it's a natural thing, you know. So you have to just do your work, and as me said, whatever one go on after that. But the important thing is, you know, putting in the work. So Bob Marley, I mean, I'm not sure if Bob Marley could imagine saying would have live as the face of reggae on the iTunes reggae chart. Like, no matter who come and who go,
It's still there.
you know,
Still,
you know,
yeah.
So yeah, that's incredible, you know. So yeah.
As
never
far
see a legacy.
as far as legacy, this is another question from another fan of yours. The question the person asks is a lot of people list you. I know you don't see yourself as that, but a lot of people list you as underrated. Like one of the most underrated in dancehall reggae music. You feel that way about? I mean, how you feel about that?
Yeah, well, like I tell you, I don't think. Well, first of all, that I don't think I understand that, you know, life and music and people don't owe me anything, and operating from the attitude of gratitude, which you talk about on the album, being grateful. If you're grateful and if you really try to, you know, live by that, then I couldn't share that perspective that I'm underrated or whatever. Cause one, nobody owe me no ratings, and then two, I have a career now spanning 17 years. I've been able to keep my lights on by doing something I absolutely love. You know, from my 3 years old till now. And you know, who is to say what ratings you need to get? Them thing that was almost up an album to say comparison will steal your joy.
Yes.
What I mean by that is, who is to say what ratings you deserve for what? You know, or you might arrive at that by looking upon the next man's situation and I say, oh, them are rate him and not rate me and me, so this and that. And it's just things that I challenge myself to not live by. And then I think people also misrepresent what they're trying to say when they say underrated. Because nobody who knows about dancehall and reggae music enough and know nothing about DJ thing or whatever, don't rate me. That's not true.
That's true. That is definitely
you know
not
what I mean?
true.
So what I'm probably trying to say is underhyped, right? Because the ratings is not a question. No, there's no way you can say to a man who know nothing about DJ thing, say, you rate Assassin music, forget about like him or whatever.
Music.
Do you rate this man as a DJ? It's impossible for any objective person to say, no, it's impossible. I know that. You know that.
That's true.
So ratings is not the question. It's a matter of underhype.
Underhype.
And then nobody no owe me no hype. So give thanks for who, you know, check for the thing, and give thanks for people who love and support the music and keep it going. Next thing is, that is not like, I'm 35 years old. It's not like I'm looking back at my career when I'm out of it. My best work is ahead of me in the bridging. This album is the first step, I believe, in the work that I really am to do. The 17 years that I've been in music, I know that it's my preparation for the work I'm to do. So being underrated may also be because, yeah, I'm not do the work I'm supposed to do yet. And you know, I'm still improving, I'm still growing. I'm not done and put on and gone.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Case in point, this is my best album to date, is it not?
It is.
Well,
that's the next thing I was going to get into.
So precisely, so I'm figuring it out. As Buju said also, is him saying that the court said him have a few things to figure out, and it will come through the passage of time. One of those things is understanding that the speed rapping and whatever and a lot of people can't keep up with that. So if I'm this fantastic lyricist and songwriter, that's all good if people can. For those who can hear it, but for those who can't hear it, they only have to rate yourself if I don't hear you.
That's true.
So one of my responsibility, and I do it on this album, or start to move towards it on this album, is to slow it down a little bit. So a song like Winning right now, you can hear everything I say.
Oh my goodness,
You know what I
man.
mean? So I still have work to do. Instead of saying, yo, star, yo, them not rate me thing, I take responsibility for, try, improve on my skill sets and, just continue to develop and go on. With the understanding, say, boss, man, nobody know what you know. You know how much people, you know how much wicked, talented youth you have out there we never hear yet and we don't know them name. It would, the heavens would have beat me for coming and shed tears over ratings when I'm in music for 17 years. I'm in New York, I talk to because I have a show tonight. Boss man, we grew up in a place smaller than a little bigger than this, allow me to tell. Over 10 times. I used to dream about being on stage, understanding say it would have never happen. Because them thing they reserve for some different people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so as a youth, me would all wash plate and did it till my hand them prune up because you just did it and you're dream and you're DJ and your thing. But understanding, say, this is
it's
just
not
a dream.
happen, it's just a dream.
Seeing my career started by me giving away my song them to my brethren Biggie Benz because Spraga I'm uncle and him a go DJ and me still there at school and it makes sense. Spraga I'm uncle, him a go DJ. Me now go DJ. So you
better hear those instances. Yeah.
Spraga end up doing the song them and the rest is history. Seeing? So me can't think the underrated and nothing like that. We just give thanks.
I mean, it's a next thing. Well, you touch on the point because I think winning right now to date is your biggest song. Yeah, so it's not the biggest song on paper necessarily, but it is the biggest song because it is the most the song that appeals to the widest cross section of people, from babies to grandma to people. You know what I mean? It is the biggest song, and like I said, even my father said to me, say, "Boy, I love that song and I can't hear what you say." You know what I mean? And so, yeah, boy, we tell you on the album again, say it's all about perspective, right? And, my perspective is just, I choose to see the glass as half full versus half empty. And, like I say, I take the responsibility for continuing for grow and development thing. But I going to issue the people a challenge also. Everybody who love and respect Assassin and him work and Agent Sasco, and everybody who ever go up on the internet and type or comment, say, boy, no, that you're underrated, do me a favor and do the music a favor. If you rate me, say you rate me. It's a totally different something with that. Yo, me rate the artist. Yeah. So it moved from he's underrated because you think about who don't rate me. If you rate me, you just say that and watch the difference. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Yeah, so instead of type that you are underrated, say, yo, me rate the artist, and then leave it at that and see the difference right make. You know what I think it is? I think one of the thing is Success Sumfest that you did, right? And you go on and put on that wonderful display. And then a man said, boy, John no star. I saw Sasco, I saw much tune him have, and that's where it come from now. And I said, boy, them really underrate the artists here, When, if them really, you understand what I say? I think that's one of the things. That's what I tell you, man, it's an under-hype thing, man. I think that's what it is. So yeah, we're going. My brethren, make we not act like, say, as my grandfather said, a little bit of everything and everything. See? I'm a conservative youth naturally. Me not try get myself in any kind of problem. I just, the things that are important to me, I go through and whatever. But at the same time, all of them things they count because, them say controversy sells and blah, blah, blah. And if you represent yourself in a certain way that, you get talk about when it is not about the work you do, but, other things. That's a part of the thing. Mind you, I have no issue with that because I know that I'm not willing to pay the price for that neither. Okay. So understanding that, I know that I'm going to have to do work that speak for itself and don't benefit from those other things, which is fine. I wonder if you understand what I'm saying. No, man, clearly. So like, if I have my album to promote now, I want to do interviews talking about what the album is about and say I grew up at Kentai and the Hope River Run, whatever. As a matter of fact, I just get a call, say, they might do some pickup shots for the video and they said the drone dropping a Hope River right now. So, Hope River, I like. Hope River. You see me? So if I do my album promotion and I talk about these things, I have to understand, say, it might not be as compelling as if you come up with some kind of scheme and whatever. Talk about some nonsense. But guess what? And I'm okay with that. In other words, you can't shed tears if you're not willing to do it. You know what I mean? So you just know, say, that God away and you will take that route and that's fine. Also, I understand
from early out. So the route that I want to take and what I really want my music to represent and whatever might take a longer time. I did understand that, you know. When Cartel and Butler come to me down at Kirk and say, dog, you know, for clashing a car, it a go turn up the thing, you know. I say, no, I don't want to do that. I know say it a go all the vibes, if whatever.
For a time.
Yeah, but me tell the man, them say, I don't want to do that, and Cartel just go and counteract a song, the Bad Fam song, and this, you know, in other words, decide, say, I go force my hand then, if I not go agree for it, whatever. Once again, I understand, say, yeah, if you clash and thing, it come with a certain, you know, sensationalism and yeah. But I never wanted that. So, if I know, so here we go on, if I left yourself for go, Gallatin, or go to Long Island, and a man say, we're going to take the LIE, or we're going to take the this, or take the that. You might take a road where I go reach faster, and me might decide, say, here we go on, it's faster, but I can't take the bag of stoplight every minute. Me just hold the highway, it might take a little longer, but it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you still gonna reach.
Thank you.
Same destination, just,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talking about performance, somebody say your show get cut at Atlanta, police shut off your show, say you owe them a show. A performance, you know. I didn't know about that. So, I mean, the next thing is the balance between, it seems like you have I would say, almost a perfect balance between career and family. How did you develop?
Well, first of all, I can tell you that there's no such thing.
Well, not perfect.
As a perfect balance, you know, I think everybody, well, most people, I would imagine, you know, trying to find a balance that makes sense for them, you know, in terms of their situation, and it's something that you know, being a father is one of the roles that I place the most significance on. You know, I place the most significance on that, understanding, you know, what my responsibilities are as a father and as a husband, and you know, having a family. So I definitely, you know, try to find time and design my activities in a way that I can still fulfill, you know,
both obligations, not obligations,
you know,
but
yeah, of course, you know, the duties and the roles.
Yeah.
So, for example, having the studio at home now, you know, gives me the opportunity to work, and at the same time, when the kids come from school, them come down and, you know, we hang out a little bit, and you have so many lessons and whatever that you can impart on them just by being around them, and you know, so it naturally become, you know, you fulfilling, you know, multiple roles at the same time. Before the studio was at home, it was a running joke, like in the industry. When a man say at 6:30 come, them say, "In Sasco, I hear time this, you know." Because them don't say, I look for go home, and yeah, I never have no kind of reservation about that. Of course, I want to go and go see me with them before them go sleep. Or else them are see me once every now and again. You can't live with your picnic, them and see them.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So I you know, consciously made the effort, you know, for spend time with them, and more often than not. And, you know, like, you know, my wife also, like, she, you know, no matter how busy she is, she try to read stories with them in the evenings, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a very important thing. I mean, it can't happen, it's because, you know, something incredible what she really can't move, but, you know, she try to give them that time. So it's all about, you know, committing to something and you know, try to create the time for make it happen.
And you talk about the home studio. How important was that in this Diamond Studios?
So
For this album.
Well, so one I talked about earlier the kind of work that I know that I am to do, and the kind of work that I need to do will require me having a place to explore and experiment and do my own work at, and so, you know, the studio being built was a critical part of that, and having the studio at home is even more to that because it fits my program having a home studio because I love my yard.
That's yeah.
And so if I'm able to work there and whatever, well, more power to me. And I recognize also that being at home, it put you in a zone where recording wise, you can get more sincerity in the work because you know, it's not come like the things that you say when you're at home. Being around a dinner table and things like that, you might not say it if you go to dinner because you know, it's just a different zone. So
comfort,
you're very comfortable. You know what I mean? So being in that space, whatever, trust me, I can't imagine any other situation that would allow me to express myself the way I can, you know, being at home. 1 second,
go ahead, caller. I'm sorry for having you on hold. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much.
Caller, go ahead.
Hello. Hello.
Caller.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Call hang up.
No, I'm here. Hello?
So let's get into.
Massive, them cancel that one.
Yeah, let's put it. Yeah, let's hold it up. You will see.
Right, that's all right. Yeah. So see that war provider, man. Give one of them. I don't know.
So he got.
Caller, who call in,
so for the next caller that call in, he got a CD that he want to.
No,
you know what I mean?
Go win it.
Yeah, you got to answer something. Yeah, you have to qualify something for win. So Sasco, we're going to get into the big song for the album, the winning right now.
All of them.
Yeah, of course, all of them are big song. Of course, we know that.
Mad son! Hey, follow me now, see you now. Hey, upset. See how upset,
Go ahead, caller, go ahead.
Okay, hello, can you hear me now?
Oh,
go ahead, caller, go ahead.
Are you able to hear me now? Hello?
Yeah. Mad son! Turn on there. Hey, follow me now, see you now. Hey, upset. Now, I want to big up a bridging fan at Junior. Because you ever hear about when a man find one camera icon, big up yourself. Man, find one here, sir. So saucy.
Yes.
Big up
saucy,
yourself.
Saucy, camera icon.
I'm on the set. Oh, we're winning right now. Say we're winning right now. Me forget that trophy to what we living right now. Cause I'm winning right now, yeah. And I'm chilling right now. Oh, we're winning right now. On Thanksgiving right now. Cause we're winning right now, yeah. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. Hey, watch out. Hey, I'm a walking W. Learn from the ends. Turn them in a medal in a trophy that bends. Every day you see me with the one on next level. Great because like we rocking actions. And every single ounce of effort we expel. It's all about progress coming up in excel. And watch out. Looking like success we dress well. Another knock out for the ring the next well. I'm about to set my haters I can't to get well. Cause I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. But that's the whole gist of it. I hate it on the beauty when we did not with your it. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. Oh, we're winning right now, yeah. Say we're winning right now. Me forget that trophy to what we living right now. Cause I'm winning right now, yeah. And I'm chilling right now. Oh, we're winning right now. I'm Thanksgiving right now, yeah. I said we're winning right now. So every day you see me, you're the reigning champion of the globe in the city.
Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, the album is called Hope River. If you don't have the album, make sure you go out and pick it up. Make sure if you're a streamer, stream it, Tidal, Spotify, get it on Amazon, wherever you get music. Make sure you go out and support the artists. I always say, if you can buy a Jay-Z, Beyonce, you know what I mean, they're millionaires. If you can buy the album, make sure you support your local reggae artists. And he still have the album to give away. You know what I mean? That's for the next caller that can answer the questions that he got. You definitely will win this, definitely will win this album. You understand? So, Sasco, I know you wanna, you know what I mean, a time thing. So, you know what I mean, I wanna say, man, before you go, I have one favor I gotta ask you, man. This DJ Dwayne. My birthday is this month. All right? My birthday is this month. You hear me drop the song earlier? DJ Dwayne, my name, you understand? Birthday this month. So this is what we are asking for.
DJ Dwayne is the name, you know the thing, but I have a thing on in November in a birth month, you know. And it's not no stunt, it's just a natural city. So you are going up. Hey DJ Dwayne, I said, if I even want buckle up the vibe and your head strong, head strong, head strong, head strong. Oh, if I today yeah, your birthday celebrate, drop a buckle, drop a crate. Boy, if I even want buckle up the vibe and your head strong, head strong, head strong, head strong. You wanna DJ Dwayne, we say celebrate. Bust a buckle, bust a crate. Give me now, I'm on some man a big man, so we don't do the cake thing. Real friend, we say some people know the fake thing. Boy, me and me batching them celebrating a birthday. You not dick back one bit baiting. Oh, them is a wait, I do not keep you waiting. And me say, to them, DJ Dwayne, know the thing, I big up yourself. And the earth, mad, son. So, if I even want buckle up me by, head strong, head strong, head strong. Hey, DJ Dwayne, I man say celebrate. Drop a buckle, drop a crate. Mad something. Agent Sasco said DJ Dwayne, big up yourself, on the earth strong, man.
Big up yourself, Agent Sasco, man. I can't let you leave here without dropping this big body rhythm.
No, I'm not going to drop no rhythm and nothing. Oh, Ladrika all.
Ladrika, oh, sorry, Ladrika
all. Drop all rhythm later on. See, you don't know, Earth Ruler. Appreciation dance, you know. Everything going there, so.
So Ladrika Hall later on, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to check Agent Sasco in, if you want to get Agent Sasco in concert later on, you understand, it's Ladrika Hall. Make sure you check him out. He still have the album to give away. You understand? Somebody call in and get this album. You understand? Somebody call in. Number to call 718-785-5760. If you want to call on WhatsApp, the number is 917-324-1742. Here we go. We got somebody. Let's see what's going on. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself, DJ Dwayne. When I said DJ Craigie.
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, hear me? Hear. Yeah, they not hear me. Yeah, sir.
The voice coming. Go ahead, call it. Just hang up and call back. Hang up and call back, all right? So, Agent Sasco, what another question somebody had for me, but I know it's not a name change, but people wanted to know what was the...
rationale behind it. All right, here we go again.
I know for the 100th time.
100 millionth. So, it's several things. So, the name Assassin, of course. Oh, here we go. Call.
Go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
Yeah, bless up yourself, DJ Dwayne. You hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, it's several things. One reason being that the name Assassin itself has, naturally has a negative connotation, but after 9/11, that kind of just amplified that whole vibe, we just got more sensitive after that. And pretty much it was the same year my career started, so it just became so why the name Assassin? And then you have to always qualify it. And then at the same time, it wasn't necessarily representing what my music was representing or me, so it started to become, I guess not such a great fit. And then outside of that now, I had opportunities that I couldn't pursue just because of the name itself. There was a situation where the government of Jamaica at the time was, doing this campaign with Jam Pro and, positioning Jamaica as a business destination, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
And, them include me in the thing. It was me and Courtney Walsh and a couple people, and them have the launch at Pegasus and Ray, and I turn up and them give me a plaque and picture I take and be things, and then I just say, some people huddle over to one side. And I say, yo, boy, we rate you and everything, but the name, we can't use that name upon the program, so that gets slapped with. Then, what I call it, search engine wise and things like that. If you search your name Assassin in any search engine, Google or whatever, you got a video game, movie, blah, 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 Chinese assassin, African assassin, this assassin, that assassin. So, for all those reasons, it started to make sense to pursue something else. And as it turns out, the name Sasco is actually a derivative of assassin, where people would just say, yo, walk on Sasco, instead of saying assassin. Just as I said, just like a shortening or whatever. So the name Sasco is still very much tied to assassin, so it's all good. Yeah.
Listen, call it. Call this number on WhatsApp, 917-324-1742. 1742. Call that number on WhatsApp. It's 917-324-1742. He definitely want to give this album out before, and he has to get out of here. So just dial that number on WhatsApp. All right, it's 917-324-1742. Sasco, anything off the album you want me to play before you get out of here?
Yeah, man. Then play Banks of the Hope now. Don't know.
Banks of the Hope. So let's get
the video forward in if okay.
So the video, so them get back a drone, cause the one fall in the river.
So actually, my performances were already done. So them just doing some, other shots for finish out the story.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you, so the drone, the propeller catch one thing there. Well, I got many even want to talk about. It's a wire here, sir.
It's a wire.
Watch your wire. Well, I hope you mama see me up Argostone, Kentire, Tavern, Godtown, Papin. Yeah, we put your first and second and third. Watch your blessings come forth. Yo, it is a miracle for make you think shot and end up a gun court. Growing up on the banks of the Hope. Never give up and we never lose hope. And we never sell out and never sell dope. No ironic with everything what we say, they say is dope. Listen, it never break the spirit growing up, bro. Roll out smelling like carbolic soap. Yes, I regular be run boat just to stay afloat. And be run joke just to cope. Never know social mobility limit.
Go ahead, caller, go ahead.
Okay, hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Thank you. I've called so many times.
I know.
First and foremost, good afternoon, DJ Craig, Mr. Chips, Agent Sasco. I really want to let you know how enthralled and humble I am to be able to speak to you.
Oh,
I absolutely love you.
Oh, give thanks.
Absolutely love you. I have my son watching, my 5-year-old watching the interview and telling him this is an artist. He stands for so much, and his movement is memorable.
Oh, I appreciate that. See? Ratings.
That's true. You see it.
I just want to ask you. Oh, I'm sorry. You have a question for me?
No. Well, you are going. Go on. You go through first. Ladies first, Granny say.
Oh, thank you. Granny's so wise. Listen, so I want to ask you, because I've always been very intrigued by music since I was a young girl. I'm much older now. There was a recent artist. As we know, the newer dancehall music is very provocative and vulgar and boisterous.
No, it's always been that way. If you think about it, at every generation, like Yellow Man did slack to the people at the time and before, you know what I mean? So it's a continuous feature of the music. It naturally goes with it. But anyhow, continue.
Well, so my question is simply this. For newer artists, I consider them to be very boisterous and vulgar. And it's not that I don't like it. I understand that it's an aspect of the music. Yeah. But how does one go from where you were, well, I know me, you fake it one straight, to where you are now, Hope River? All right, so, like, how does that happen?
So, my journey and development, so some of it is deliberate. In other words, I've challenged myself to grow with my music. I told myself before I start, like, I will. Matter of fact, I did figure that being a 35-year-old DJ was when I'm supposed to find something else and do. See, as in before I started at 17, right?
Correct.
But then, I started to recognize also that, you know what, it can't be that at 17, whatever material I'm putting out should sound too close and be too comparable to the material I'm doing 17 years down the line. It can't be. It can't be that my ideals and my values must be the same as a 17-year-old. So naturally, I challenge myself to grow with my music. Now, I know you make a cat one stray. We can still do similar content, but with a slightly different texture. In other words, I did that song when how much years ago that now? 2005 that was. So if my math serve me correctly, that is 10, 13 years ago. Good gosh. Yeah, so it couldn't be that I'm going to do a song now and it's going to sound like that. So you mean for tell myself after 13 years, develop none at all, grow a little bit, your perspective not change a little bit, you know what I mean? So growth, I believe, is a natural part of, the human existence, but I also want my growth to be represented in my music, yes? At the same time, we must appreciate that, everybody is at a different stage of their development and them going do them art to reflect that. And so I don't think we should chastise people for where they are in their development and what them choose to express,
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I wanted to know, obviously, because I followed a great deal of your career. And it was very intriguing to me when I started to hear this new genre of music, because we've gone from the the Guinness Steen song and that whole vibe to now this Hope River vibe, which I appreciated all, but I was very intrigued as to what brought this about. So I thank you for taking the time to talk to me, and I really respect that. I respect your outtake on it, because honestly, I didn't look at it the way that you're looking at. When I decided to really look into it, it was because a recent artist did a challenge, and I did the challenge, but her song was very provocative. And as much as me being an older woman tried to do it, I did an extremely good job, but I couldn't be as provocative as her. And I was like,
man. You have to represent, based
I know
on...
I still have the talent, but I represent who I am, exactly. So thank you so much for taking the time.
Absolutely. I'm going to give you this album just because you have your son and listen to the song. I think, So you can only go into this thing off the ear and what's your name, my dear?
My name is Kim Worrell. I'm from Boston, and I am just super
Kim from Boston. All right, so you are Kim from Boston. Oh, so you can't write it. Oh, we're going to get this to Boston. Yo, me make Dwayne figure that out.
Yeah, man, we'll figure it.
Hey, but listen, anyway, I'm going to give you your CD. Link up on Instagram and tell me, Kim from Boston.
Will.
Kim, no worry yourself, you get it, all right?
Yeah, man.
All right, thank
caller,
you.
go ahead.
Yes, brother, DJ Dwayne, DJ Craig, big up yourself. I start saying what the man has said.
Yeah, man, no respect, my brother. Look at my volume so I can't hear you there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Not pan my mic, pan whatever I go on there, so turn on this. Yeah. Yeah, my brother.
I just want to give thanks to the eye for the history lesson what the eye give me,
John, respect.
I make you know this, but just I can't tell for make you know this. A few artists me really listen to, will really grab me.
Yeah.
And Agent Sasco, Ching Ching, and Tanto Black. See? And right now, I have none of them on the song in my playlist. And the reason why I have them in my playlist, because I put them in my playlist until I can pay for them. And I have an issue with the other media sites where you buy the music them from. So what I want to know is when me can go, but just use my credit card and buy your music and get it straight to my phone without giving them all the information.
Oh, you mean like with Apple Music and all of them? So you have but iTunes...
It's like them want me sign up to Facebook and give them all kind of information.
No, man. Amazon, iTunes.
Amazon. Yeah, man. Amazon, Amazon, you don't have to sign up. You just go on and buy it and download it. That's how me do it. I mean, I have an account with Tidal, so I stream it, but I buy the album from, you just go Amazon and buy
Amazon, my brethren, check out this and see if that suits you. Otherwise, you can go to my website and you can get this actual CD, the physical copy. Go to www.agentsasco.com, and no matter what, you can get the download from the site as well. I would have hoped so them not asking a bag of nothing. That would have been the website developer, not me.
That's our website, because the actual CD would have better for me, because it's a collector's item that I don't really want nothing where I might lose, and at least I know I have a physical CD that did it.
Yeah, all right, my brethren, I appreciate that. So give thanks. You can go to the website.
And like I said, I just have to show my appreciation by just purchasing the album, because for me, go download that for free or get it from somebody who wouldn't feel good on myself.
Boy, I appreciate that, my brethren. Enough respect.
Respect for that talk, definitely.
And if there are queens, you can come through later on, Ladrika Hall, or anywhere near about the place, yeah.
Just tell DJ Craig to come pick me up.
I am in business. That. All right, my brethren, respect.
Bless up yourself, Carla. Bless up. Bless up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bless up yourself. So Sasco, man, I want to say thank you, man, for thank you for stopping through JAI Radio for the second, you know what I mean, the second time.
Yeah.
It was an honor, it was an honor having you here. You know what I mean? And make sure, ladies and gentlemen, he's gonna be in Ladrica Hall later on. You understand? And I think he'll make a run to go either somewhere else tomorrow, I think.
No, my yard.
Oh yeah. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, so we could get back into the banks of the hope because, you know what I mean, it got cut off. So thank Sasco for coming too, you know what I mean? Make sure you go and support, you understand?
Yeah, watch out now. I see that now. Make me go now. Yeah, we put your first and second and third. Watch your blessings come forth. Blessings come forth. Yo, it is a miracle to make you think shut and end up a gun court. End up a gun court. Growing up on the banks of the hope. Never give up and we never lose hope. And we never sell out and never sell dope. No ironic with everything what we say to say is dope. Listen, it never break the spirit growing up, bro. Roll out smelling like carbolic soap. Yes, I regular we run boat just to stay afloat. And we run joke just to go.
That was a set.
Social mobility, limited scope. But mama make we know so time longer than rope. We not frying nothing, nothing the car we used to go without. From food stamp and no stamp, fill up a passport. Yeah, watch over 9, no put no gun in.